The Lagos Connect card is based on a state-of-the-art smart card technology, which provides for automated fare collection on the bus rapid transit BRT system. This will form our main cross for discussion tonight on the program, after we have brought you an update on the crossing of Wemco Road Drainage Project on Lateef Jakande. Kate will be with us today. Good evening. I am Obafemi Craig. Please stay tuned. This is the news update on Lamata FR. Managing Director, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, has urged contractors constructing the bus rapid transit BRT extension from Mile 12 to Ikorodu to redouble efforts in order to deliver the project within the 24 months of its scheduled completion. Speaking at a review meeting on the transport infrastructure project, Dr. Mobriola said, going by the warning that there was likely to be 263 days of rain this year, it was necessary for the contractor to use the dry season judiciously. He said if there was any need for help, the contractor should not hesitate to contact Lamata in order to ensure that the project was completed on schedule. On traffic congestion, he said traffic now flows better following the opening of substantial part of the newly constructed road. All is now set for the commencement of the rehabilitation and conversion of the bus rapid transit BRT system lanes from asphalt to rigid pavement this month, as project information boards have been put in place to sensitize members of the public on the project. The Lagos State government is converting the asphalt pavement on the BRT lanes to concrete pavement in order to address incessant degradation of the lanes and the need for a permanent solution to the constant appearance of cracks on the road surface, as well as reduce yearly maintenance cost on the road. Director of Roads, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, Engineer Olufunsho Elulade, had informed during the kick-off meeting for the project that a concrete pavement could last more than 30 years without maintenance and can as well withstand the hassle load of the BRT buses.
The government believes it has to be changed to concrete pavement because concrete pavement lasts longer. It has more than 30, 40 years lifespan without you doing anything to it.
He disclosed that Lamata was working with the contractor to ensure that its work plan does not negatively affect traffic flow on Ikorodu Road. Engineer Lulade urged road users to exercise restraint, obey traffic rules, follow diversion, and obey traffic controllers in order not to compound congestion that may likely build up as a result of the project. Ahead of the Monday, 7th April 2014 reopening date, the Lagos State government over the weekend reopened Lateef Jakande Road by Wemco Road Junction in and out of Omole Phase 1 to traffic. The reopening followed the completion of the crossing of the Wemco Road Drainage Project into Omole Gorge. The Lagos State government had 2 weeks ago announced the closure of the road to enable the contractor constructing the underground drainage project to cross the road from Wemco Road into Omole Gorge, where the drainage will discharge.
Confirm, I like what they're doing. Yeah, it's very nice. It's okay. This thing has caused a major traffic, but we thank God we waited for it and it's good. We can see the roads very clear now. Thanks to Governor Fashola for doing this for us. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the Lagos State government has commended road users for their support, patience and cooperation during the closure in ensuring that traffic moved. It said the drainage project will benefit all Lagosians, businesses and the environment, as well as complement Wemco Road, which is being upgraded to a dual carriageway with pedestrian walkways and cycle lanes. That was the news update. Come with us as we go to Lateef Jakande Road to give you an update on the drainage project.
Basically, what Lamata does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success. dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
Lamata, think transport.
Lamata Alf R visited the construction site for an update on the underground drainage project. We spoke to Engineer Tajuddin Olanikbekun, Senior Specialist Roads, Lamata. He also supervises the rehabilitation of Wemco Road, Ogba. He will now tell us the extent of work carried out to cross the drainage into the Omole Gorge.
We have actually cut through the road. We have placed the precast elements like we promised to do. At this time, what we are doing presently is to reinstate the road back to its normal state, and this involves backfilling of the trench that we excavated. After the backfilling, of course, it has to be compacted to reach a maximum compacting level. From there, we will now put the asphalt, soft base, so that we can put the road back to its initial state.
Can you quickly take us through what this project or this road has been like before this project started?
Yeah, you find out that during rainfall, it is difficult to drain all the flood that comes from Penn Cinema over Gunusi Road onto Wemco Road. And because of the terrain and the difficulty in making sure that the water leaves the road, it has become problematic trying to take away this flood. Because, in fact, at the time of flooding, you find out that most residences have to abandon their premises because the flood actually rises up to a level of about 0.5 meters. And that has been the way it is during any rainfall, particularly during peak period of flooding. And it is decided by government that, okay, to find a lasting solution, you must provide a channel that will be able to take the flood throughout the entire length of Wemco Road and empty into the Obele Gorge.
So what are the lessons learned now executing this project?
Yes, you see, at the beginning of this project, we actually involve a lot of machineries to be able to have a smooth free, project execution. And it involves, carrying the residents of this area along. It involves, calling stakeholders meeting and informing the residents about our work. And we seek for their cooperation in this job because the construction work actually is very close to built up areas of this section. In most cases, you find out that the fences of some residences may be affected. You need to talk to them to be able to understand why we are building what we are building and what we will gain at the end of this construction work. What we have done in this project that has taken us this far can also be translated to other projects that will be coming in future.
We also understand that this Wemco Road is currently being upgraded too. Can you tell us what to expect on this upgrade of this road as well?
Yes, at the end of the upgrade, which involves rehabilitation and reconstruction of Wemco Road itself, and part of the element that you should expect, of course, in the upgrade is that we are turning the road into a dual carriageway on asphalt, and it's going to be having a covered walkway drain, and of course another walkway which serves as a pedestrian walkway, another walkway which serves as a cycle lane. Of course, it is going to be built with a street light, and we have other road infrastructures such as service dogs, you have laybys. In fact, it will help you with the free-flowing traffic. And because of the conduit drain and the surface drain that is coming on the upgrade, we expect that during flooding, at least in minimum time required, all flooding water will have escaped. In fact, it should not stay on the road for more than 2 to 5 minutes.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian bridges, new roads, mega city. Yeah.
The speed at which the drainage was taken across Latif Jakande Road is commendable and indicative of the government's commitment to solve once and for all the flooding problem in these areas coming from Ogba, Agege and as far as Abulegba, from where the flood water flowed towards Penn Cinema. As the rain sets in, residents in these areas will definitely give kudos to the state government for solving once and for all that which was once their nightmare, flooding. From On the Move, I'm Obafemi Craig. Do please stay tuned.
The Lagos Connect card was introduced in July 2013 as the payment option for accessing the service of the Mile 12 to CMS Bus Rapid Transit BRT system. Because the system is scalable, it will in no distant time be used for accessing the service of the rail system and water transportation. About 9 months into its implementation, the system has had its ups and downs. We'll be discussing these challenges and how Lamata has intervened to bring back the system on track. Our guest, Dr. Desmond Amir-Gbebo, Deputy Director, Bus Services Lamata, will be discussing the Lagos Connect card, Lamata's intervention. Dr. Desmond, we're happy to be with you today.
Thank you very much.
The Lagos Connect card was launched last year, July, to promote electronic payment for transport services. How has the system fared since then?
Well, the system, that is the electronic system, has fared well with progressive adoption by the community public. You know the environment where we are, in terms of people's ability to use things that are not manually driven, in terms of people's perception about change, in terms of people perception when it has to do something has to do with money. So since we introduced this system in July 2013, progressively people are trying to understand, people are trying to buy into it, people are trying to use this as a means of paying for transport services on the BRT corridor and as well as the BFS scheme. We no doubt have recorded some challenges, but I think those challenges, they are stepping stones because that has enabled us to remodel the system so as to come to terms with what people actually can be able to use on the corridor.
In your assessment, has the system met the objective of adopting the payment platform? And of course, if not, what has been done to bring it up to the level it should be?
Well, I will say that the system has met its objective for those that have the cards, because the objectives of the system principally is to minimize change giving when you pay for your fare, is to enable people to have a discount. If you are traveling from Mile 12 to Fadeyi, for example, instead of 70 naira, you would just be paying 65. And if you are taking a full trip, instead of 120, you just be paying 115 naira. In terms of that discount, for those that have acquired a card, yes, that objective has been met. For those that have acquired the card as well, the objective of securing their money, because you don't need to actually get any money on you before you travel. You can use the card to pay. So in other words, security of money. And then also you can secure your money for future trip. What I mean by that is, once the money is in the card, it is meant to be used for such. You don't need to, if you run out of money on you at times, and once the card is there, you can always use it. So for those that have the card, the system has actually met its objective. But for those that do not have the card, how can that system meet objective when you don't have the card? So just two ways. You have the card, the objectives have been met, and but you don't have the card, you need to get a card for you to actually plug into those objectives.
Fares on the e-ticketing system were recently adjusted. What informed the adjustment, and has this deepened the use of the Lagos Connect card?
Well, when we started the system last year, July, there were some parameters used, i.e., we used the distance-based algorithm. For example, if you are leaving from my 12, the start-up point is 20 naira right from there, and then you now progressively calculate the distance and apply the fare. Therefore, when you travel, for example, 5 kilometers, you pay a particular fare. As you progress on that trip, maybe from 5 to 6, from 6 to 7, you pay higher as you go. But we discovered that that on its own has some challenges in terms of reducing the revenue of the operators. We had to sit back, had some discussion with the operators, had some discussions with the various ticket dealers, and we had to come up with a model that is not distant based. So we had to come up with a new structure, which is just upfront discount of 5 naira as you travel from my 12 to Fadeyi, and as you travel from my 12 to CMS respectively. Now, we know that this also has its own advantage, because what it has done, what we have achieved so far is that we have been able to improve the revenue of the operators. And improving their revenue on its own has the advantage of giving them the financial strength to be able to foot the bills, the various bills that maybe fueling, repair, crew payment, amongst others.
Well, I was going to come to that, but I'll still take that to actually know the benefits of this adjustment to the commuter first and then the operator.
Well, to the commuter, the discount is still there, the 5 naira discount. Instead of paying 70 naira, from my 12 to Fadeyi, they will now pay 65 naira. And instead of paying 120 naira from my 12 to CMA, they pay 150. Besides that the benefits, the commuter also, the advantage of having all buses mounted with validators, because the operators have been so empowered financially to be able to to be able to pay for the required services that accompany the electronic fares system. So you now have all buses fitted with bus validators. Now you also have the stability, because what I mean stability in terms of performance, because when you don't have enough money, enough revenue to support the services you are rendering, it becomes difficult to sustain those services. So the benefit to the commuter is that some of these services that were not available are now principally available. Now also to the operator, they have a guaranteed, stable, predictable revenue, unlike the losses they were encountering before the new structure was implemented. But may I say this also, if you go to the corridor now, you may see one or two buses that do not have the back validators. That does not precisely mean that the bus, but what is happening there is that those buses that do not have back validator, about 6 of them, there is a challenge with back poles. Some of them did not come with back poles. So what we are doing now is, between now and next week, we are trying to fit those buses back with poles. Yeah. So presumably all the buses will have validators on the corridor.
Now, since the fares were adjusted, what has changed?
Well, let me use the word the electronic fare, not just the fare, because we are talking about the fare. You mean the paper ticket fare as well as the electronic fare. Since the paper ticket has remained the same, 70 and 120 respectively. Now, since the fare has been adjusted, what we can see is that there is a kind of increase in the use of the electronic card system. Before the fare was adjusted, we had about 41,817 trips being made using the electronic card system. Since the 1st of March till the 31st of March, it has increased with about 15% usage. That means from that time to date, we had about 48,091 trips being made using the electronic car. So that means there is a gradual increase. That means that there's a gradual acceptance and adoption in the use of the electronic car system on the BRT as well as on the BFS services.
As a commuter, if I have any complaint, what channel is available to me?
Well, the channels available is for you to report such complaints, such challenge to the appropriate quarter. And the number to use.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best.
Well, your parting words, Dr. Desmond Amiogweo.
Well, my parting words to the community public is for them to embrace the new innovation, that is the electronic card system or payment for the use of BRT services and the BFS services. What we have introduced now requires some level of understanding, some level of acceptance to be able to understand that where we are taking you to is for your own good.
Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes more than rail.
Kókó tí àlejò wa ń sọ fún wa lórí ètò tòní lórí lílo káàdì tuntun ìwọkọ̀ BRT tí à ń pè ní Lagos Connect Card ni wípé ó ṣe pàtàkì fún aráàlú láti lo káàdì tuntun yìí láti lè máa fi wọkọ̀ BRT ní ìlú Èkó àti wípé ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé. Àwọn àǹfààní tó sì wà ní ibẹ̀ nìwọ̀nyí. Ìkíní, ó máa dín wa ní owó ọkọ̀ tá à ń lò. Ìkejì, tá a bá tiẹ̀ ní owó lápò rárá, pé tá a bá ti lè ní owó nínú káàdì yìí tí à ń pè ní Lagos Connect Card yìí, ó fún wa ní àǹfààní láti máa wọkọ̀ BRT ní ìgbàkúùgbà tí a bá fẹ́. Paríparí ẹ̀ ní pé ó dájú pépà lọ. The thing where our guests they talk be say, this Lagos Connect Card when we dey talk about, na for our own good o. It get better benefit when we dey enjoy when we dey use the card. One be say na shekele money we go dey pay when we dey use the card. The second one be say if we no get money for pocket, for as long as we get money inside the card, nowhere we no go fit enter BRT bus go because money dey for the card. To finish the matter be say the card come better pass paper ticket. To find out more about us, you can use the details now appearing on your screen. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you've enjoyed watching this week's episode of Lamata FR. Join us next time for another exciting episode of the program. Till next week, Lamata, think transport.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes more than rail lines. Pedestrian